Good evening and welcome to KTN News. This is Point Blank, shooting here at the Nairobi Serena. The Kenyan political landscape has been dynamic. So much has been happening.
Donald Trump's Q tweet, originating from Deputy President Dr. William Ruto's official Twitter account on Sunday, 14th July 2019, kicked off another week in what is turning into an intriguing political soap opera. Ruto's target, his Jubilee Party Secretary General, who also serves as Cabinet Secretary without portfolio, Raphael Tuju.
Na sisi tulio katika chama ya Jubilee, mimi nataka niwaulize wale officials wa chama ya Jubilee, wazingatie manifesto ya chama ya kuunganisha na kuwaleta Wakenya pamoja. Wazingatie manifesto ya chama ya kuhakikisha kwamba tunalenga mambo ya maendeleo. Wasitumike ama kutumiwa kuanza kulete fujo ndani ya chama.
Tuju had 2 days prior accompanied ODM leaders Siaya Senator James Orengo and Rarieda Member of Parliament Otiende Amolo and GEM Member of Parliament Elisha Odhiambo on a tour of development projects in Siaya County.
When we talk about uniting this country, we're not saying uniting the country except the Luos, or uniting this country except the Luyas, or unite this country except the Kalenjins. What we mean is uniting the whole country.
In his defense and backed by State House spokesperson Kanzidena, Tuju noted the tour was official and he was representing President Uhuru Kenyatta. And there was this.
There's nobody in the cabinet who's going to say we import 12 million bags, because you'd be killing the incentive of the Kenyan farmer. You've been now serving farmers outside Kenya.
Leading elected representatives from the staple-growing regions of Kenya to call for investigations.
Sisi tunasema ile program ya kuimport mahindi kuzuia njaa katika Kenya ingoje mpaka Januari, February.
Embattled CS for Agriculture Mwangi Kiunjuri would respond.
The issue of whether there is maize in the country or not is not a debate. The issue is about scarcity. And any market is about demand and supply. If the demand is high, the prices goes high. If there is shortage, the prices will go high. If there is a lot in the market, the prices goes down. So the issue we are discussing here is not whether there is maize in the country or not. What we are talking of is that there is no enough maize in the market.
Well, it's good evening at Point Blank. We have decided to bring Mheshimiwa Moses Kuria to dissect these developments. But before I speak to the outspoken, straight-talking member of Gatundu South, what has he done before?
So Winston Churchill, one of the world's most definable leaders, paraphrased philosopher poet George Sabtayan's symbolic words in 1948. Ironically, at the time, Kenyans were agitating for independence. To the House of Commons, those who fail to learn from history are condemned to repeat it. Jomo was first the representative of Gatundu before being sworn in as Prime Minister that indefinable day of 1st June 1963 and then President of the Republic of Kenya on 12th June 1964. Kenya experienced 20 years of his rule. The constituencies of Gatundu South and North have, however, together with Lari, languished behind the rest in Kiambu County.
Mimi Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi naapa kwamba nitakuwa mwaminifu kwa Jamhuri ya Kenya na kuitumikia kwa moyo wangu wote, na kwamba nitahifadhi, nitalinda na kuitetea katiba ya Kenya kwa mujibu wa sheria iliyowekwa. Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu nisaidie.
Baringo and then Baringo Central is also one of the least developed constituencies in Rift Valley, despite the 24 iron-fisted rule of Moi.
Mimi Mwai Kibaki naapa kwamba nitakuwa mwaminifu wa Jamhuri ya Kenya na kuitumikia kwa moyo wangu wote, na kwamba katiba ya Kenya
kwa mujibu wa sheria ilivyowekwa. Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu, nisaidie.
"14 years after being dropped as vice president, Mwai Kibaki was sworn in as the third president of Kenya. He served for 10 years at the country's helm and 39 years as member of parliament for Othaya. The constituency is not as economically endowed as its counterparts in Nyeri.
I, Uhuru Kenyatta, in full realization of the high calling, I assume as President of the Republic of Kenya, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Republic of Kenya. That I will obey, preserve, and protect.
And defend this Constitution of Kenya as by law established.
And defend this Constitution of Kenya as by law established.
And all other laws of the
And all other laws of the Republic.
Republic. And that I will protect and uphold.
The sovereignty, integrity,
and the dignity of the people of Kenya.
And dignity of the people of Kenya.
So help me God.
So help me God.
The Member of Parliament for Gatundu South served his principal constituents for 10 years before the enactment of the 2010 Constitution. Since April 2013, he has been the Republic's president. What lessons does history offer, and does being president translate to instant per capita wealth of the primary populace? Can the president's member of parliament, a highly intelligent Rabble Rouser, two-term legislator, founder of today's Wanjiku movement, alter this ambiguous tag come 2022? Two-term legislator.
Nitakwambia ano Uhuru. Pole pole, kuja pole pole. Unajua yeye ni dada yetu na tunampenda, na hakuna mtu ambaye ametetea ano Uhuru kuliko mimi. Lakini sasa unajua Sofiga libo akasema wakati kifo ya ndugu imefika, miti yote inateleza. Wacha kujishikilia mtu yoyote ukipita. Sio haki. Utatuharibia serikali yetu ya Jubilee.
Founder of today's Wanjiku movement.
If whatever Babu Owino did was a minor offense, as Honorable Sakaja said, how many people, I have seen people in this courtroom with extremely minor offenses, and they have been in cells for over a year. They have no names, they're not Babu Owinos who are suffering for a year in cells, for very, very minor things. Are they less Kenyans than Babu Owino simply because Senator of Nairobi would go and get Babu Owino released on a Sunday? I think the IG also. He owes this country an explanation.
Alter this ambiguous tag come 2022.
Good evening. This is Point Blank here at the Nairobi Serena on KTN. Mheshimiwa, karibu sana. It's good to have you here.
Thank you, Tony.
Asante sana. Mheshimiwa, I need to get straight to it. You represent the president as the MP for Gatundu South.
Right.
Many Kenyans don't know where you are now because there are those who doubt whether you support Kenyatta. Do you support Uhuru Kenyatta?
In what?
Politically speaking, I mean, where are you? Are you with the president?
You know, this is a very weird question. Where, as opposed to what?
Well, in the last couple of weeks and
Sorry
months...
for interviewing you.
No problem. But in the last couple of weeks and months, there seems to be, Moses, in all honesty, disorder in Jubilee, disorder at the presidency, cabinet colleagues who are known to you have been involved or accused of plots by the deputy president. There seems that all is not well. And the question I'm asking, as the MP for the president, where do you stand with him on this issue?
You see, I think we need to look at this thing from what it is, from the broader context. We are at a crisis as a country, and it's a crisis of definition, whereby we have got two levels of definition. We have got Jubilee Party, the party that the president stood on. I stood on that party, and all of us, and we got elected. And the country. And there seems to be a war between the party and the country. So I don't want to get into the micro issues of do you support the president, do you support the deputy president, do you support this? I think that we have got a bigger crisis which we need to acknowledge, that the party and the country seems to be.
Moses Kuria, I'm coming there, but this is point blank. I'm asking you because the people of Gatundu South are watching you. As I said at the beginning, you're the MP for Uhuru Kenyatta at Gatundu South. And I just want to know, as a member of parliament of His Excellency the President, are you supporting him? I'm not talking about Jubilee.
You know, I cannot answer that question. In what? In Big Four? Yes. In building bridges? Yes. In what? In working and not politicking? Yes. In what?
Right. So
you know, it's you know, we need to be more granular.
And I'm coming to
that.
Be
more granular. In what?
I asked you first.
Generally, I support the president.
That's all I'm asking point blank.
I support the president in not even supporting the president. I think there's another question. Do you understand the president? That's the question you should be asking everyone.
Right.
Because many people do not understand the president.
Now I know you're interviewing me, but I'm coming to that. But the issue why I was asking this is the presidency right now is 3 years to go. And President Kenyatta has stated his objectives, has stated his wish that this country should not go into early politics. This has brought in some heat within the body politic. And a lot of people are asking, the MPs of Central Kenya are almost in camps. There is Tanga Tanga, there is Kieleweke, there is all manner of things. And the one question everybody wants to know, the 3 million people who watch Point Blank, is Moses Kuria, where are you as a person with regard to Uhuru Kenyatta and his presidency? Are you supporting him? And if you are, then I come to the second question. And the second question is, can the president really do his job unless he's given full support by MPs, by cabinet secretaries, by all of us? Can he really finish his legacy without that support?
Well, I think the question of supporting, as I've told you, is not even a question that should be on the table. The president not just being our leader, the leader of our party, he's the leader of the country, you know, and I don't think in any cases anyone who is not supporting him per se. As to whether people are doing what he would want to done, that's another question altogether. Can he be able to deliver his legacy without full support? Absolutely not. No, no one can. Even me, as a member for Gatundu South, I cannot achieve my objectives if I don't have the people of Gatundu South with me, and the leaders and my team and everyone. So it is even you, Tony. You cannot have this show without your crew and yourself. It is just common sense.
Moses, the reason I'm asking, you were at Kasarani when the president decided to speak to the country, but he spoke in Kikuyu. And the president was very clear in the things that he said. And I was watching carefully that speech, but I could also watch you. I was looking at you as his MP. And the president was hurt. The president used language as people are taking advantage of me. I'm not a boy. You know, he was very strong in his language. And my question is, because people know you're straight shooting, in fact, people know you are the MP whose first job is to protect the president. And people are saying, where is Kuria? Where is the army behind the president? So why should the president feel threatened or weak or attacked? And where are the MPs to support him? Why is Moses Kuria?
Well, let me say this. I've been very categorical in terms of these groupings, Tanga Tanga and Kieleweke. And as a matter of fact, I hate being tagged to any grouping. Why not, especially groups to support Tony or support. Why not groups support me? I'm that selfish in that respect, as to be tagged as a group for supporting or opposing someone. And I think in the fullness of time, even my colleagues will realize that all these things are transient, all these things are not very important. And that is why I've decided to pitch camp with Wanjiku, with the common person.
So I'm coming to that, and I will just ask one more question on this line. When you were elected MP for Gatundu South, there was a lot of excitement because people felt Central Kenya did not have a strong voice to protect Kenyatta. At that time, the rival was Odinga. And so people looked at Moses Kuria as the man to protect Kenyatta. And you came with gusto. You are a die-hard supporter of Kenyatta. In fact, you are the opposite of Meguna. In the Kenyatta camp, people knew you were taking on Odinga to protect Kenyatta. But of late, when Kenyatta seems wounded or isolated, Kuria has been quiet. I want to move on to other issues, but I ask again. So because the guys of Gatundu are watching, Uhuru is watching, where is Kuria? Is Uhuru got a defender in you? Before we talk about your agenda.
First of all, I do not get into Parliament to defend Mr. Kenyatta, President Kenyatta, because I was defending him way before I was a member of Parliament. In fact, I've had a longer career working with him when I'm not a member of Parliament as opposed to a member of Parliament.
Kenyatta Center, the Uhuru Kenyatta Center.
Yeah, and
UK Center.
And even in his politics and his ministerial work when he was in Treasury and stuff like that. So my primary reason for being in Parliament is to work for the people of Gatundu. And my role as a Kenyan and as a member of my region and as a citizen of this country and as a friend of the president for that matter is where I felt duty-bound to stand for the truth. Remember, we are living in very funny times. We are not, the Odinga whom you collectively put I was police marking, is now our partner in the building bridges and in the handshake and in the new country that we want to shape for this country. So we are living in very funny times, whereby who you thought is an enemy is not an enemy, is a friend. Where you have got other quarters of challenges coming from within, and you cannot expect someone to it takes time.
So when you are talking about friends and enemies, William Ruto, the deputy president, do you consider him a friend or an enemy?
He's a friend.
Let me ask you.
In all respect, he's a friend.
Well, I want to ask you point blank.
Yeah.
Do you think that he is material for president of Kenya?
Well, I am not campaigning for presidency, but I've expressed my desire. All of us are materials for president. Even you, Tony, I think if you really want to be material for you, so many people are material for president. I don't think that singling out William Ruto is an issue.
Moses, after the ICC, you became a public figure quite rapidly because you came out and apologized and said that some people in Mount Kenya really were targeting the Kalenjin side, and you gave an apology. And the reason I'm raising that question is...
Not Mount Kenya.
Yes.
PNU.
Okay.
And PNU was not synonymous with Mount Kenya.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm asking that is that since then you seemed not only to give the apology, but you seemed to be really close to William Ruto. And at the beginning of the so-called 2022 campaigns, you were seen as a key man. Why I'm asking these issues is, where are you now with that relationship? I know we're going to talk about your independence and other things in the other segment, but you and Ruto, where are you?
Let's go back to ICC.
Yes.
The point we took at that particular time, and it was a collective position for all of us, was that the people who were before the ICC were the wrong people. And this was a fairly domestic contest. And you remember at the time that I spoke in the year 2016, there was President Kenyatta's case had fallen off, and William Ruto's case had remained there. And these were coalition partners. And so many people were content to watching from the sidelines, despite the fact that some people would have wanted to see some rift between the two. And people who had approached this particular case together, now all of a sudden found themselves, looking at it from different perspectives. And, you cannot change history. I was part of the history of this country, right from, 2007 and all that and what happened. And there's some few things we knew, and we took a position. You recall that from 15th of December 2010, when they were named at the ICC, practically for almost 4 years, some of us did nothing else except, putting in a defense on this particular issue, organizing, trying to show the world the truth. So it was not out of context.
So on a point
totally
blank,
in line.
well done.
Yeah.
But on a point blank issue, I only wanted to know, because millions of Kenya want to know.
Yeah.
Are you still a close political ally of William Ruto?
A friend, yes. Political ally, each of us have their own objectives and interests. Yeah.
So it's clear you're not in
no,
Team
politically
Ruto.
speaking, I'm not in Team Ruto.
Yeah, I think it's
I would
important
want
for the country.
Ruto to be in Team Kuria.
No, I'm coming there, and this is important because this is point blank. It is better for people to know he's your friend, but you're not politically in 2022 for Ruto.
No.
I think that is clear.
No, I'm
okay.
not,
I want to ask you then, Mheshimiwa, in terms of the president's call, so that we dust off that issue and leave it, that politics is not ready now, maybe we should do development, what? Did you have any view? And remember, I'm not talking about Tanga or Kieleweke. I think that is not the subject of today's interview. But do you think really politics should wait a bit? Or do you think...
It depends on what you call politics. Because if we really want to go and discuss with the Mwananchi, their issues, their problems, and I'm saying discuss, not speak to them. Yeah, there's a difference between dialogue and speaking too. If you want to go and discuss, I enjoy going out there, discussing. I come up with issues. I was in Nakuru for Kalaja Kabaga's burial. Yes.
God rest his soul.
God rest his soul. Wonderful gentleman. And I took time in Nakuru town after that to go around and understand what's happening there. And I felt very enlightened and educated.
Yeah,
some people want to call that politics.
I know. I'm coming to segment 2. We're going to discuss Kuria in detail. I want to narrow you down on this. Put your back to the wall. We've agreed 2022, you're not Team Ruto, Uhuru is not running, and therefore we'll discuss in second segment what issues. But I want to ask you about your brother, Peter Munya, Kobia, Musheru. Do you know them? Are they close to you?
Of course, let me start here. There's no one in this cabinet whom I have known simply because they were in cabinet. None of them, all the 22 guys, I've known them for ages. So Kobia, I've known Kobia since he was in the Kenya School of Government. Yeah, Musheru, I've known Musheru since he was in Gugu. And Munya was, we were in the university the same year. When I was the treasurer of SONU, he was a chairman of Kenya Law Student Society. So,
and Macharia?
And Macharia was my workmate. I mean, I started Chartered Bank.
So Mheshimiwa, I know you're a strong family man. Outside their job, these people have families.
Yeah.
Allegations have been made in public that they have plotted to kill the deputy president. Does that concern you if you know Munya the way I know him and Kobia? I mean, really, is that fair in your view?
I don't want to really, I want to be very sparing on this issue because I've gone public and said, I'm waiting for Kinoti, for the DCI to return his verdict on this particular issue. Because I have said that this is a make or break of this country or this government as it stands. Because if it turns out that Munya, much as I can defend him, or Kobia, whom, I don't know, you cannot tell, but even by demeanor of Margaret Kobia, and Joe Musheru, But you cannot
be fair to point blank because you know you're here. This is point blank.
No, but
all I'm asking you, the character. I'm not saying that you don't.
Character.
Do you think they are capable of plotting a murder of the deputy president?
Well. Let me say this: that
they are watching
out of character. Yeah. Am I saying incapable? No. I'm saying it will be grossly out of character, and I'm leaving that doubt because I want to give. You've said again and again in this country that we give time for due process and for the arms that are mandated with the responsibility to investigate crimes, to finish their job. And this is an issue I take extremely seriously. I keep on asking the DCI personally, DCI, this is an issue. As a leader of this country, as a citizen, I really want to know how far are we, when are we expecting some results? Because if it turns out that some people can sit down to plot the murder of someone, I'm not saying deputy president, anyone for that matter.
Mheshimiwa,
all
the millions of people from Mount Kenya region watching you today are going to be asking, Where is Mr. Kuria? Our leaders, cabinet secretaries, 4 of them, whose character and are people you know. It's not a court of law, it's not Kinoti. These are people you said you knew even before government. And all I'm asking as point blank, as a leader of Mount Kenya region, does it affect you that these people don't have that demeanor, that character? I mean, I'm looking at Margaret Kobia and I'm thinking she's sitting down where to buy a gun or a knife. I mean, assassination is the allegation. And Mount Kenya is asking you, where does Kuria stand on this?
Kuria stands for investigation. Let us investigate. Yeah, I know it is emotionally tempting to take a position. And I will take a position which is not completely, which is not very different from the line that you are taking. But I would also get surprised from the second point of view, that the so-called meetings, I don't want to, to beat my own drum, but I was really the author of that, the whole journey, which started here at Serena Hotel, right from between the first election, 7th of August, and the second one. And we were going for a PG at State House. And I said, look, before you go there, it is good as a region, we go together, we agree on, on how to approach that particular PG. And we met here. I convened that meeting of all the senators and the MPs. And that grew into a leadership forum for our region, which then we took some time back, then we met in Boulevard Hotel, then we met in Naivasha, then we met the president in Nyeri, then it culminated into smaller working groups at Lamada. And when we were in Nyeri, it was very clear we were asked.
That's very interesting. So you're telling Kenyans that even the president was aware of these caucuses that were going on. This was not
at
secret.
Our request.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that.
This was not a secret.
No, but it has been put in the media that this was secret meeting.
That is where I find
put it to you point blank.
I don't know about murder. I was not there in that particular meeting, but I want to say that the whole essence why our leaders, all of us as leaders were meeting, was something which, do you know, every constituency, 64 constituencies in Mount Kenya region, we even created a booklet of the agenda of every constituency, yeah, which I did. I designed them myself and I coordinated that myself. So I find it, because at some point, as elected leaders, we were asked, now we have had your issues, leave it now to the people who have the solutions. And so we left it at that. I would want to...
Kimani Ichung'wah is your friend. He's coming here next week, point blank. And MPs who have supported the deputy president have been saying that these are secret meetings held in a basement. And I'm asking you, point blank, are these secret meetings in a basement or are they part of an agenda that is known and is seeking development in Central?
I have a booklet in my office, yeah, which I still keep. I'm the custodian of all these booklets, of all our constituency agendas. One of them is Kikuyu constituency, yeah? I have one. Another card-holding member of the Tangatanga team, the Honorable Dede Nyoro. Not only do I have his issues and his agenda, but also in the last meeting of that group that I attended on the 19th of December, 2018, he was there. He was there. I mean, I was with Dede Nyoro. I mean, what can we plan? I don't know. Maybe what happened in 2019, because in 2019 the politicians, fell off that particular grouping. So I don't know if after politicians fell off, then the agenda changed from water into guns, from roads into knives, from
So there are no secret meetings.
There were no secret meetings at that time, as of 19th of December 2018, these meetings were not
So, Mheshimiwa,
unless something changed in 2019.
Our government in the 2010 Constitution has created the Westminster model of the Constitution,
right,
where there is collective responsibility as a principle of government.
Yes.
And underpinning that is Chapter 6 of integrity.
Right.
Is it possible for the president to have a divided cabinet if his deputy is alleging that certain cabinet ministers are plotting against him, be it murder, be it even go slow or whatever? My question to you as a legislator, is this cabinet, can it go on this way or should it be dissolved? Is it possible for a divided cabinet to serve the country and serve it honestly and properly?
You can say, if you ask me point blank, I will say this cabinet is untenable the continuation of this cabinet is untenable in the wake of those accusations. But that is not for me. The prerogative lies with His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta. But even if you dissolve the cabinet, but you leave the underlying issues that created this, are you sure it will not happen again? Or how many cabinets do you want to dissolve? Do you want to beat the Italian record of
Mheshimiwa, I know you're a keen student of political science, so this is not the first time a government needs an overhaul. I mean, Kenyatta had to leave Jaramogi and team up with retired President Moi. Kibaki had to do the overhaul after Agro-releasing and remove Muiraria and Matere Kireri and bring Mudhaura. Is this Kenyatta's moment for an overhaul?
Is it now? If you are talking in the respect of cabinet secretary, is this the first overhaul? Kenyatta has done several overhauls, isn't it?
Yes, he has.
Yeah, yes.
So on this issue, so we move on. I tell you why I'm saying this. It is for the first time.
No, it's a fundamental issue.
Yeah, because you see, because it is
but
the
you see now,
deputy.
if the issue is, if the problem is between the president and his deputy,
yes,
even if you have 5 reshuffles,
yes,
what are you going to resolve? Yeah? So unless you look at the underlying, that's what I'm calling the underlying issues. Unless we look at the underlying issues of where the rain started beating us.
So, Mheshimiwa, let me put it this way to you point blank, and that is, Kenyans know you're straight talking. Kenneth Matiba was a greater man than Ruto, would you agree? If you don't feel comfortable and you want to fight, why not resign and go to the country? And
I will not put it for one person, I'll just put it for everyone, in every relationship. It is better to call deuces,
No, if you were to advise Ruto, because obviously, if it is bare knuckle.
Is it about him only?
You as the one who has said, if there is a problem between the president and the deputy.
So that now we can talk point blank.
Yes.
The biggest problem we have is that President Uhuru and Deputy President Ruto, they are working on the same direction, but their journeys end at different endpoints. Yeah? For Ruto, the alpha and omega is Jubilee Party. Yeah? For President Kenyatta, it is beyond Jubilee to Kenya. Until we reconcile these two viewpoints. Even if you take 100 years, you're not solving the issues. Because that's why you saw like now we have the issues of Rafael Tuju, and I know how the deputy president takes that issue very seriously about the Jubilee Party, because to him this is a party we campaigned with, this is a party we took out there, convinced people, this is our manifesto, this is our agenda. The other people came with their parties. For him, look, let us be given chance the way we had our chance in the first term to implement all the things that we want to do. Then President Kenyatta is saying, no, beyond us implementing those things, beyond us, carrying out our agenda, there are some underlying fundamental issues that we need to look at beyond Jubilee and look at it as Kenya. Is any one of them wrong?
Moses Kuria was the deputy president, and that's what you have said, you've described it correctly.
Yeah.
So if Moses Kuria was the deputy president, and clearly there's a standoff or a lack of alignment of vision, would you stay in government and sabotage the president? Or would you resign and go out?
I don't think it has come to that.
What is the proper way?
I don't think it has come to that. I think the deputy president needs to understand the president, and entertain the idea that you might be right, but give yourself one chance to think that you are wrong, and try to see, surely, is this all about Jubilee and competition and winning, and the other people being down and other people being up? Or as the president is saying, is there something beautiful?
As we go to the break, I want to put it again to you point blank. This is your moment, your solemnic moment. I'm asking you, you are saying it is not tenable for the cabinet. I'm asking if Ruto, who has a right to vie for presidency of Kenya, if you were him, would you stay in government with this kind of bad blood, or would you leave and fight from outside? And I'm asking you point blank.
No, I would not leave. I think leaving will not be an option. Why would I leave? Why would I leave? What has precipitated for him to leave? Yeah? It's not called for. All I'm saying, this is, even if you leave, have you solved Kenya's problems? Do you know that what Ruto is saying, and I don't think it's right, I don't think his viewpoint is right, but sadly, it is shared by close to all the 8 million people who voted for President Kenyatta. That's what they believe. They believe that the president has abandoned his people who voted for him, and they believe that that mission that he is with Raila Odinga is sort of a sellout, and it's for, creating some other, as Kikuyus would say, Madhogodani.
And what does Moses Kuria think?
Yeah?
You're talking
No,
about
I'm with
Kenya.
the president on
And
this.
what do you think?
I am with the president. I understand the president fully.
Are you with Kenyatta?
I am with Kenyatta on this one. I am with Kenyatta. You know what? We cannot, being Jubilee, it's like the Bible says, you win your own life, and you win the whole world and you lose your soul or your life. What is it about winning Jubilee? We can win Jubilee anytime. We have won Jubilee. That is our base. We can win elections. We can have more votes than the other party. We have done it. We can whip those boys again. Isn't there more to it?
Well, this is Point Blank here at KTN News. Moses Kuria, Mheshimiwa Gatoto South, says, I'm with Kenyatta. I think Ruto may be wrong, but he should not leave the government. Moses Kuria will be back. This is KTN News.